So good evening, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to speak and allowing me the opportunity to share with you the reasons why I think that I am the best candidate to serve Bartow County on the Bartow County School Board for District 3. My name is Deanna, if you don't know me. I'm a wife and a mother. I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, a small business owner, an active member of the Bartow County community, where I serve on numerous boards and committees with Advocates for Children. Hold on, I need to list these. Advocates for Children, the Bartow County College and Career Academy, Red Cross, Bartow Republican Women's Club, and the Etowah Valley Humane Society, as well as the local Chamber of Commerce. So, I am running for school board for two very important reasons. The first is a very stubborn 16-year-old girl who is at Cass High School, and as well as the Bartow County Career Academy, and an adorable 6-year-old boy named Bailey who is at Hamilton Crossing Elementary. So most of you probably know them if you're on Facebook. You know that they're out there. They value the community just like I do. I make sure of that. I love them. They're good kids, and I've been able to see just from them being in the school system where we can improve, what we're doing right, and what we might need to throw out and just start over with. But if elected, the main things that I want to focus on, that I feel they need the attention right now on our school board and in the school system. The first and foremost is transparency and accountability on our school board. It's time for our school board to start representing the constituents that have elected them and take steps towards making information more accessible to the public. There's no logical reason that work sessions have to be right before the school board. There's no reason that the information from the work session couldn't be brought out to the constituents, and voted on the next week or in the next month for that matter. There's no reason that our board retreats shouldn't be right here in Bartow County. We shouldn't have to go to Floyd County to do our board retreats. The right thing to do doesn't need to be rushed through for a vote. It doesn't need to be done in another county when the media is not looking. The right thing to do is going to still be the right thing to do next week, in a few days, however long it takes for the public to have a chance to analyze it and weigh in. The second reason that I'm running is community collaboration. And obviously the community is important to me, and I think that there's so many opportunities for cross-sector collaboration in the education process that we're missing out on. The Bartow County Career Academy is a testament to these benefits. My daughter's there. I love it. I love how the chamber's involved there. I love that they're actively involved in the steeplechase. They're marketing for that. They're learning real-world experiences. The public safety group, they were just doing that CERT thing with about it, and you Harley. There's the CERT, is it CERT certification?
No, it's Community Emergency Response Team.
Okay. They were out there with that. There's a lot of these opportunities that they're getting that they wouldn't be able to get otherwise. And I just think that this stuff could be carried over and implemented into the school system as a whole. We're really missing an opportunity there. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And that's what we're doing in our educational process. Sometimes a fresh perspective is needed, and bringing new ideas to the table may be the only way to solve old problems. The third one, and this is an issue that's getting a lot of media attention, it's Common Core standards. Every child is unique. We stress this in every other aspect of society except for the education process, and that's insane. Implementing the Common Core standards has not only been an expensive undertaking, but it has shifted the focus to test taking rather than actual learning. I am committed to push back against the Common Core standards, but I feel that we must concentrate on what we can do here immediately, locally, and that's the curriculum. The curriculum, I don't know how many of you have children in the public school system, but there's nowhere you can go. I've looked on all the websites. There's nowhere where you can just get a comprehensive view of what our curriculum is. It's all over the place. It's very frustrating as a parent, and I'm totally off my notes now, but it's very frustrating as a parent to want to be involved in the learning process when your child comes home and you have nothing to go by. There are no textbooks, They have MacBooks at school, but they can't bring them home. So there's nowhere to go. They have a study guide, and that's usually about it. In high school, once you get up into middle school and high school, there's a study guide. And if you have children and have been parents of high school children, sometimes they don't fill out their notes properly. Sometimes they don't take the best notes in class because they're doing other things. So once they get home, there's really nothing for us to go by to make sure that those study guides are filled out correctly. And you know, if you Google something, you could get 20 different answers for the same question. So as a parent, I would love to see the curriculum out there in the open, what it is. The Common Core standards set the what, but we still have control over the how. How do we teach them to reach these standards? So there is a lot of flexibility that I don't think we're using. I think right now we're teaching to the test, and that's it. So, question, and this was in my little speech here. Does anyone remember doing research papers, like full-blown research papers that stressed you out? My child's a sophomore, never seen one. Never seen one. She did they do PowerPoint presentations where it's just a 5-slide thing, takes her 30 minutes. She did a citation page, and she just put links, like URLs. She's like, this is my reference page. And I'm like, that's not a reference page. Where are your citations? And I made her look it up. I made her, I know that even in college, and I'm way off my notes now, but even in college, we could have online references, but we had to have a minimum of 3 to 4 real hard book references. You had to go to the library, pull it out, put your bibliography in. I think we're missing the mark on a lot of that old school learning that helps them. I mean, it grooms them for college, and it grooms them for career, and teaches them to follow some rules and do things the right way. But that's just my soapbox, and I'll get off of it now. And I'll move on to my next point, which is a hot button, and I'm not really sure why it is. It's school choice, and I think it's common sense. In the business world, and I have an economic degree in economics, so this blows my mind. And in the business world, consumers benefit from options in the marketplace. So why is education any different? Competition brings innovation, and it brings efficiency. And both of those things bring, better products at better prices. So the same can be said for education. Parents should have the right to choose the path that best fits the learning needs of their own child, and they should be able to take their tax dollars with them, or at least a portion thereof. And that's where I stand on it, and that's where I'm always going to stand. I fully believe that public schools, private schools, charter schools, and homeschools can coexist. I think that they can not only coexist, but I think that they can be mutually beneficial to each other. I don't think that necessarily one has to take away from the other. I think they all make each other better. And lastly, as a girl who sits in front of a MacBook most of the day with graphic design programs, technology in the classroom is very important to me. And I think while our school system is making steps towards a 21st century learning environment, we still have a long way to go. They're using computers more and more in the classroom, but like I said, they can't bring them home. So their learning is really limited to the school building when it comes to that. There are a few teachers in the College and Career Academy who are using some programs like Edmodo. It's almost like a social networking program for a very safe, informative social networking program for teachers and students, so they can post assignments, give critiques, the students can turn things in through it. And it's very helpful for me. Unfortunately, it's limited to the few classes that she has at the Career Academy right now. But it's helpful for me because I can follow what's going on. Textbooks are becoming obsolete. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I think it's, as long as the material is available for not only the students and the teachers, but also the parents, I think that's where our end game needs to be. That's where our goal needs to be. Like most colleges today, we need to work towards developing a web-based curriculum that puts the resources at everybody's fingertips. I'm always available to answer your questions, and I will always tell you how I feel and what I believe, but you may not always like it. But when I tell you how I feel, you'll know that my stance is well thought out, and I've weighed all the options. But at the same time, I'm not afraid of admitting that I'm wrong. I don't like it, but I will. And I like to learn new things, and I like to hear other people's ideas. I'm doing this, I'm running for school board because I feel that I have the backbone, and God knows we need that right now on our school board. I have the voice, and I think it's a loud voice. I have a platform, and I think I have the ideas that can restore credibility to our school board, as well as move our school system in the right direction. And I would appreciate your support on May 20th in the Republican primary. Again, I'm running for Bartow County School Board District 3. And my website is www.berryforbartow.com, and all of my views are listed there. My cell phone is there, my email address is there. I'm always on Facebook. You can always find me any hour of the day. I'm awake.
Or Twitter.
Or Twitter. That's right. You're my Twitter friend. Does anybody have any questions? I do have yard signs too. If you would like any.
I have
Yes,
a
ma'am.
question. How are you going to get the people that live in your district to come to the board meetings?
Well, I'm going to probably start honestly because this is where I am most comfortable with social media. I'm going to make sure that everybody knows about everything, just like I do in every other aspect of my life. I'm a very transparent person. I think people need to be involved. I know we've tried with Uncut to make sure that we were there to film things like that and to put them out there when the public needed to know, and I'm going to continue on that path.
How many times did you go to the board meetings this past year?
This past year, 3 or 4, and then we've been with Uncut as well, so. Yes.
That was my question. Some of us work,
Right.
full-time job. So getting to especially if they start on the early Monday nights, very difficult. But I know Melissa was there a number of times filming, and you were there. And one of the arguments that I have heard on many occasions is that they simply, will not put all of the meetings publicly online. Because I would go, if I couldn't get to the meeting, and watch the video, which was extremely helpful. And I would appreciate it if that was pushed more, so that we could have, I think the parents would like to see what goes on at the board meetings.
I
They
think
can't if they're home helping the kids with homework.
Melissa, correct me if I'm wrong, but are they not starting to do that?
They actually fixed the website and took the last video off. And I believe it's board policy that they passed it when they got the cameras, that they had to post it every time. So
Right. 'Cause I know
that's
that-
something that needs to be followed up
And
on.
Matt is fighting for that, and Fred, I know, is fighting for that. And they did get the new website, which looks like it's gonna be a great step in the right direction, but we haven't seen that yet. So we do rely on the Patch and Melissa and Cartersville Uncut and all these other, media organizations to make sure that it's covered. And sometimes the paper doesn't do that, or the radio stations don't do that. But we've got to kind of look towards alternate media options if the school board's not going to do it. But I mean, if I'm there, I will definitely fight for that. And if they're not going to put it up, then I will.
Have you talked to Matt and Fred as to the frustrations they've been going
have.
through?
In length, yes,
Okay.
they are.
I commend you for running, but I have to tell you, I hope you're prepared for being stonewalled.
That's what everybody asks me. That's the first thing they say is not congratulations. They're like, have you lost your mind? And yeah, maybe so. But I don't know. I've been out there in the open. I've been in the public eye already. So I know it's not always positive, and I'm fully prepared for that. And I do. I very much respect Fred's opinions and Matt's opinions. I think that Matt's doing a great job.
Mm-hmm.
I was disappointed, other than the fact that I knew I wanted to run, but I was disappointed that he wasn't going to be there, because I know that he has the best intentions of Bartow County citizens at heart. He does.
I agree.